Hey guys, this is Nathaniel on my sucky webcam again. And my lip sync is probably off as always. I could probably punch the screen and the punch will be delayed a few seconds or maybe half a second. Anyways, I've been writing articles on this site called HubPages.com for a while now. Well, 3 months, and I have about 24 articles published. And it's you get paid to write articles. I have about $7 in 3 months. It's kind of sucky. You won't get much money if you're not really good at advertising and stuff. So, anyways, um, on this Hub Pages thing, I've noticed for throughout this month, a few months that I've been on here, that the majority of people post philosophy, their personal philosophy, and religious articles. Probably because it sells and you can get a lot of views. Otherwise, they actually believe the stuff they write, which is a problem. And the problem is, HubPage is a rather popular article publishing site, and you'll find many pages on Google written by these people who are obviously uneducated and have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. So I'm going to scroll down and just see what they have right now. Right now, um, there's a lot of them. In this article titled Congressional Investigation to Remove Religious Expressions by Miss D. I made two comments to this article, and both she removed. And I'll just tell you what the first one is. You could check out her hub. She's talking about just the history of how Congress refused Christianity into the system, the government system, separation between church and state. And she's arguing that it should be combined rather than separated. So I argued how the founding fathers were deists who were mistreated by the Church of England, so they wanted to prevent the same mistake from happening in their new world by separating, based on church and state. And I argued that most of them were deists. Well, not most of them. It was equal separation between Christians and deists. So she had this deleted, this comment deleted, and then another comment made by Gus the Redneck. Yeah, what a fitting name for this guy. He says, "Hi, Miss D. Perhaps someone should remind all that atheism is of itself a religion." So I made the comment by a famous person, or a quote by a famous person. I don't remember his name, but I remembered his quote that he said, "If atheism is a religion, then bald is a hair color." Right? So that I published this comment, and she deleted it. And it seems like she just deletes every comment she just doesn't like. It's just like a YouTube person who restricts comments and only publishes the ones they approve of. That's kind of cowardice, and a lot of these religious people on this hub pages do that because I don't know. I guess they don't want their beliefs challenged, and they only want to hear what they want what they want to believe or what appeals to them. But as the famous Richard Feynman says, if you don't like reality, if science tells them just how the world acts, and if you don't like it, go to a different universe. And well, that's what I'm going to say. That's essentially what these religious people do not do. So let's go down the list. Okay, the next hub is published by Boitmiotics. It's a weird name, and he published the article "The Meaning of Life." Like there is a meaning of life, and he'll probably give you another long, boring, and pathetic article about his view of the meaning of life, and would probably try to convince you it's right. So then, okay, this next article is titled "The Migrating Chupacabra" by the most popular Hub writer. Hub is the name, is the type of is what the articles are called. most popular hub writer on this site called Rofkin, and this person's articles are all just fictional bullshit, which he tries to convince is correct. This one is titled "The Migrating Chupacabra." He says here, a chupacabra is said to be a beast the size of a small bear. Though you have evidence that this chupacabra exists, no, they don't, but they try to convince you it's true. So, okay, just two articles down from that is an article called "Pray for Rain: Drought in the Central Plains." I don't need to go into details about this, but they believe that praying for rain is actually going to make it rain, much like the pagans and the Indians did the rain dances to make it rain, which obviously it doesn't work because there's no evidence of such. Well, possibly it might work, but there's no evidence that such things work. I could pray all I want to the Islam god, the Zeus, Apollo, is all the same, but they pray to their god and somehow it rains. Well, it's going to rain sooner or later, but it doesn't matter how long they wait, a week, a month. When it does rain, it justifies their belief. Furthermore, let's go down. I'm sure it's not going to take a long time to find the next one. All right, another. Okay, this is another article on find your meaning of life and how to use it to create wealth and prosperity. Yeah, it sounds like an ad, but this person's username is titled "Purpose of Life." Now, right when you just read the name, it's obviously this person is a really philosophical, religious, and spiritual person who doesn't care about any sort of evidence and only cares about, as the hub or article is titled, creates wealth and prosperity. So it's money and emotional pleasure. Let's go down to the next one. So there's a few more. Alright, this article I find quite ironic. It's titled "Whatever Happened to Why?" So essentially, this person named Ram Rider 51 is writing an article about how people just don't use why as much, with the exception of scientists and a few people. And the example he used to justify his reason of why people do not ask why anymore is this: Child, Daddy, why do people have two arms? Daddy, because God made us that way. Obviously, right off the bat, that this person forgot to ask why when he is asking other people why they aren't asking why, especially when they are asking how do they know God made us that way, or why does God exist, or maybe if God exists at all. So, I think he's rather hypocritical on this one. There's a lot of these articles, and you'll find that there are many religious forum posts. So yeah, this site also has a forum, question and answer section, and an article section, and there's a lot of questions about evolution on this forum, and you'll find that probably the majority of these people here do not believe that evolution is true. I mean, this isn't the 20th century. Even in the 20th century, there is sufficient evidence that not just supports evolution, but it nearly proves it. I mean, I use this term lightly, but it nearly proves it. Evolution is not something you can just wipe off and say, give some excuse and say, no, stuff is not evolving because I don't see it. Because we have the evidence. We have the genetic evidence. You look in the cladogram, you can see exactly how the animals relate to each other. You can see how they change over time with the fossils. I mean, this is something that cannot be denied. Look at the amino acids. Look at the similarities of the structures between the 12. I mean, not 20 amino acids. These amino acids could not have arisen spontaneously. The structure suggests that there was originally one amino acid, one of the 20 amino acids, which duplicated into the 20. This is something called gene mutation or gene duplication. So the gene codes for the gene that was originally coded for one amino acid duplicated to 20, while each had individual mutations that differed the different amino acids subtly until there became 20 different genes which coded for 20 different amino acids. So I suggest you check out this site, maybe register on it, write a few articles, perhaps something that's not philosophical or religious, and yeah, I hope that we do something about this, because if anyone tries to talk any reason, argue against their beliefs, especially in the form that that evolution in fact does happen, they'll gang up on you. They'll make these huge lists of people just one by one attacking you without really any sort of reason. They won't give any evidence. They'll just curse and throw insults, and it's I think it's pretty pathetic, especially when these articles that they are writing is being posted onto Google, and people are reading it as if it's a respectable source. But none these articles are totally personal, and they're really lightly moderated by the administrators or the moderators. So I think that's a problem. Right. This is Nathaniel. See ya.